Anyway, Joey Badass, this weak ass.
Good lord. I guess anything can win an Oscar nowadays. That's the main thing I learned from this movie. Basically, the short film category, if you have any clout and you make a short film, you're winning that. They giving
Oscars out. They literally handed them out.
The thing is there wasn't that many movies last year and shit, but like, I still find it hard to believe that was the best short film to come out all of last year.
Literally, if this is what's winning an Oscar, me and you could throw some shit together and win an Oscar. I swear on God we could. I swear we could.
The A&R Podcast,
bruh,
wins an Oscar.
A&R Podcast short film, that shit is gonna win a fucking Oscar. Yes, it will. Bruh.
I mean, oh man, so this movie was just a mess, bro.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my shit off. This movie is called Two Distant Strangers, right? So the premise of the movie is Joey Badass's character, his name is
Derek. Or wait, no.
Phil. His name is Phil.
Phil, wow.
Yes.
Good God.
Joey Badass's character named Phil is asleep. He wakes up in his girl's bed. Apparently, they slept together last night, right? Mm-hmm. They wake up. They're having some horrible dialogue.
Terrible dialogue.
Cheesy,
corny ass, just terrible.
Not even
dialogue.
Like acting is horrible.
Doesn't feel like real people at all.
Yeah, not at all. So we get through this tired bullshit ass dialogue. He goes outside, light up a cigarette. He drops something out of his book bag, and then he bumps into some guy with some coffee in his hand. And then a cop comes. He's like, "Hey, what's going on here, guys?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing." He was like, "You smoking a cigarette?" And Joey said, "Yeah." The cop says, "It doesn't smell like a cigarette." Okay. Like, you have to see where this is going. Like, shit like this is like, okay. I feel like there's so many layers to this movie that I want to unpack. Like, number one, just aside from the premise being bad. So, the premise of the movie is he wakes up, gets killed by a policeman, and relives that day over and over and over and over. Yeah. Right?
Like Groundhog Day, but with police brutality.
But
good God.
Here's the big twist. He dies at the end too.
Wait.
Nothing he does prevents him from being killed by this police officer. Well, yeah. So what the fuck is the point of this short movie?
I thought you were going to say the big twist was that the cop was also living through it every single day.
Bruh.
I thought that was supposed to be the big twist, damn near.
Who gives a fuck?
The thing with this movie is it's like the messages are supposed to be serious, but like there's shit like before the first scene of brutality, there's a 2-minute basically, what is it, Kubo ad?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, how are we supposed to take like this scene of brutality serious after we just got an ad?
This
like,
is the thing.
A 30-minute movie and there's a 2-minute ad to damn near start the movie off. Like,
bruh. The movie starts off with a Calvin Klein ad.
Yeah.
And then we move into a Furbo ad, which is an ad for a device that you can watch your dog at home from.
And like feed him and shit like when you're not there.
What the fuck is... Oh, fuck! Is that a bee?
I don't know what the fuck that is. That shit is big as shit though. Fuck no.
Oh my God.
So if that bitch pop up again, I'm gonna be...
Hey yo!
That bitch dead.
Wow. Oh my God!
I can't believe that just happened, bro.
You gonna get stung in the back of your neck mid pod.
Hey, bro, you gotta look out for me, bro. I can't see shit.
Oh my God! All right, hold on. Let's take a second to regather.
First, I thought it was a cicada, and I was like,
"Yeah,
oh well, like that shit ain't fun to do shit." That was a big ass wasp or some shit.
Okay. Oh, his name is Carter.
Carter. I was thinking Phil sounded a little sus.
I swear his name was Phil.
Why would his name be Phil, though?
Oh, my God. So, on IMDb...
What's it got?
The plot keywords are time loop, racist cop, dog, police brutality, and black man.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Was like... I feel like for this message to be effective, because like the message in the end was just kind of like that, like when you're black in America, you have to live through this every day, and that like cops in America like have the idea, like the intent of like doing shit like that every day. That was the point.
Which
I feel like
true.
that would be more effective if they didn't like make them both like so like they like I don't know, made them more extreme. Like, why did Joey just have like a roll of cash?
Yeah,
like, that was some shit like they did just to make him seem sus to the cop.
Yeah,
and like, why did the cop like? It's supposed to be in New York City. The cop talking about in the cop car. He's driving Joey in the back. They're having a discussion, right? The cop talking about, yeah, I've never talked to one of you for this long.
Hey, I really start getting weak when he said,
bro. But
said,
they live in New York City. There is no way that you grew up, dude, it's like at least 50 years in New York City and you've never had one conversation with a black person. There's no way. There is no way. They didn't even try to make that shit realistic. We're not in Kansas. Like, New York City is literally like the most diverse city in the country. Like,
this is the thing, bro. So the way the movie started off, I want to make it clear that I didn't want to watch this movie. I really did not want to watch this movie because, and you got to let me get my shit off on this, right? I didn't want to watch this movie because I'm tired of seeing like black trauma in movies. Like, I'm tired of seeing like slave movies and police brutality movies. Like, I'm over it. I'm done. Like,
it's almost like feeding off the moment. Yeah.
It's not even about feeding off the moment. It's like, I don't want to see that because I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. I don't want to like. That shit is happening, like, really. Like, I don't need to see it in media to understand what's going on. It's happening in the real world. So I don't want it. Like, this shit is happening in the real world, and then I get on Netflix and see this. It's like, okay, like, where can I escape this from? You know what I mean? That's why I'm into like sci-fi and anime and shit, because motherfuckers don't want to hear about how you can step out the house and get shot every couple minutes. Like, nigga, can I just be a regular superhero? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm damn.
Yeah.
You know? So I didn't want to watch this shit, but you know. This taught me a good lesson. Trust my gut, because this movie was fucking dog shit.
I get that perspective. I think they try to make shit like this more for like the people who don't understand that like that's the shit that like people have to go through every day.
Bro, if you don't understand that shit in 2021, bro, what can I tell you?
But like the thing is that this movie didn't do a good job of anything.
Exactly.
Like I feel like if
nothing about this movie was done well. Not the way it was shot, not the plot, not the dialogue, not the premise, not the acting. Nothing about this movie is good.
The thing is like I feel like if I was like a racist white person and I watched this shit, like I don't think my opinion would be changed.
Literally.
Like, I hate cops,
and it's not even about,
and I watched this, and my opinion didn't change. Like,
bruh, they didn't even try to.
How can you make a socially conscious movie where, like, it doesn't change any opinions?
This was not a socially conscious movie, because if it was, they wouldn't have made this shit. This movie was not socially conscious, and let me tell you why. They didn't even try to make the cop likable.
No.
Had it been a thing where they try to like humanize the cop and try to like give him a back of like, you know,
that would have been even more corny.
Exactly, and I agree. But at least that would have been something. In this movie, they were just like, yeah, this cop is just a murder machine, and he's here to kill you. So that's it.
I thought it was so dumb that they had them have like a whole conversation and act like they made progress, like just to have him like kill him again, and then reveal that the whole time he knew that he was killing him every day.
This movie is not good at all. The dialogue is bad. The acting is bad. The lines are horrible. At one point, he was talking to the girl that, you know, house he was over, because, you know, in the beginning of the movie, he starts every day.
Her dialogue
at
might
this
have been the
girl's
worst
house.
in the whole movie.
He says, "Yeah, what do you do when somebody wants to kill you every day?" She says, "Yeah, I just get a gun." He was like, "Okay," and then he was like, "Wait, you have a gun?" Oh my god, bro, I can't make this up. I swear, this is the most cliche line you could possibly think of, and I'm not making this up.
Yeah,
she say, "Boy, I'm a black woman in America. Of course I got a gun." Like, okay, bro. Like,
what did she say after that? She said more dumb
really
shit after
come
that.
Up with nothing better than that? Are you serious?
What did she say after that? It was more dumb shit after that.
She was like, they tried to make her say the N-word and make her seem like an authentic black woman, but it was fucking corny.
Yeah, this whole movie was just
this is not a good movie at all.
I think part of what they were trying to do was like it was a different scenes and situations and where he got killed that I think were supposed to be representative of like certain brutality incidents. But the way that it was done was so cheesy that it wasn't like they were like representing that. They were like almost like, I don't know, not literally.
The way I see it, I feel like they was glorifying. This is just an excuse for them to show niggas dying over and over and over again, because that's exactly what this movie was. It was literally just a Joey Badass dying compilation.
Yeah. Can we look up? I want to know if
serious.
It's true that shit I saw about KD and fucking Mike Conley.
That's true.
Will you look it up real quick? Because I low-key think it is. I really low-key think it is. And I'm just saying that because one thing that I was happy about, the
Sean
only thing
Combs,
was that I was hoping that it wouldn't lessen my opinion of Joey Badass. And
oh my god,
I don't dislike him anymore, but if Katie and Mike Conley like funded this shit, like read this script, heard this premise, and were like, yeah, we need to fund this shit, I guess they're smart because they want an Oscar.
Okay,
but
so yeah, apparently they were executive producers.
yeah.
All right, so Kevin Durant and Mike Conley were
we getting NBA in this video too.
They were
unintentionally.
Yeah, they were executive producers of this movie, this bullshit ass movie, and apparently, so was P Diddy, and so was Jesse Williams, who's also a goofy. But
my thing is like with that budget and this many people,
how did
they only
get
it to 30 minutes? Number one,
why was this 30 minutes? It should have been 2 minutes.
My thing is like they obviously had this big of a budget. Why did they not just make a longer movie, like with a more effective message, like a better movie? When are we going to start having to question all Netflix content? Like
facts. Netflix
is getting to the point where
I'm on your head for putting this bullshit out.
When Netflix first like came out, like they was coming out with shit like Stranger Things, like originals that were like good. Now it's like all these originals is corny. Like they're offending somebody for being so shitty. Like every single one, it's like,
bruh, this is my thing.
Netflix is really going like downhill.
Why
make
like this movie?
But they won an Oscar. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're being rewarded for making this shit is the thing.
Why make this movie? I want to talk to the person who had this idea for this movie, and I want to ask them why they thought it was a good idea to make it. Why?
I feel like they think
why make this movie?
They think they're like sharing a message effectively. Obviously, they do, or if they wouldn't have made that movie,
bruh. So the whole kicker of the movie is supposed to be, so at the end they show a bunch of names like Alden Sterling and Philando Castile and blah blah blah, and they say Philando Castile was just driving home from dinner, and blah 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 was just doing this, and blah 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 was just doing this. Tamir Rice was just at the park. So they trying to show those names. This is what I'm assuming. They showing those names and showing how these people were just doing mundane things and still ended up dying, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm assuming the premise of the movie is them supposed to be showing like how, you know, because
you can die for anything,
right?
Much. Yeah.
But the thing is, the way they showed it in the movie was so exaggerated. Like, I don't know, it was just weird.
So like, I got a good example.
It was just exaggerated and like forced. It was real forced.
Well, so yeah, like you said, like I think part of the message of the movie was supposed to be that like, being black in America is like you can get shot by the cops, killed by the cops for anything. So like one of the situations was like they were looking for apartment 6, and like one of the times he dies, he tells a girl, he's like, she lives in apartment 9, but it does a shit where it's falling over so it looks like a 6. He's like, you got to get this fixed. And then later they come in, they kill Joey, and then the cops ask the girl like, is this apartment 6? And she's like, no, it's 9.
Like, God. Like,
I understand what like they're trying to say, but that's just, I feel like, not an effective way of showing it. It's too cheesy. It's too
and outside of that, the way they did it was just showing like overt violence. Like they didn't really like they didn't make it believable. So like, but the police barged into her house, and then Joey was just standing in the kitchen, and they just like shot him 10 times, and they showed him getting shot. Like,
or what about the cop laying on the ground going "fuck her"?
Right,
like
there's
literally
so many
shooting
scenes,
him. Like,
there's so many scenes in this like movie of people not people, but Joey literally just being gunned down. I'm serious. There's so many scenes of that. Just that, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Even his mom was like, "Yeah, I can't watch this. Like, this is weird." Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be good. Only reason we really decided to watch it was because it was 32 minutes. If that shit would have been an hour, yeah, that's true. It won an Oscar, which it's like,
I was happy for Joey,
especially when the Oscars also like snubbed so many famous like black actors, and then like gave this like an Oscar. It's like, do they understand like anything at all? Like, I don't know.
Joey, I'm happy you won an Oscar, but I'm sad that you had to win an Oscar for this shit. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hopefully, maybe this can open doors for him in some way for like doing more acting shit, for better shit in the future.
Yeah, he was on. I think he was on the. He was on the Wu-Tang bio.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
He was on that, and apparently he was really good. I didn't watch it, but apparently he was really good on that. So, Joey, you been getting your little acting bag. You didn't do that great on this one, but hopefully in the future,
Joey is definitely good at low key getting into other ventures. Like, you know, he like writes for a lot of people.
Yeah,
he wrote Rockstar. song.
Rockstar. Oh,
The Post
yeah.
Malone
Yeah,
song,
post
yeah.
shit. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
So-
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
Joey
Shout out to
definitely is
Joey.
good at, and I just think it's also like kind of weird in terms of it being Joey, just because his whole last album was so like political and like impactful for coming out after Trump, like, so it's just like for him to be able to like show such a message in such a good way in his music, and then like be in a movie that like tried to do the same thing but did so much worse, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it was just weird. And this thing, when media comes out like this, I just don't understand. Like, everybody okayed this. Like, nobody.
Well, you saw KD, like Mike Conley.
My thing is, how do
P.
you
Diddy,
how
like,
do you
literally
read this script?
put
How
their
does-
money into
bro,
this.
How does Joey Badass read this script and say, "Okay, let's do it"? Is what I'm asking.
He's getting paid to do it, though. The rest of these people
no, fuck the payment.
The
Joey
rest-
Badass read this script and said, "Okay, I'll act in that."
Well, yeah, obviously they all agree with the message. My thing, it's even like, to me, it's even worse from like Katie and Mike Conley's perspective, because they read the script and decided like, I want to get my money in on making that.
Like, you know, it is what it is.
I never respected the Oscars. We lost respect for the Grammys. It's just like, who cares about award
That's what I'm
shows
saying.
anymore?
If this what they giving out awards for, I can get an EGOT. I said that. I can become an EGOT. EGOT is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. I can get all four of them bitches. If this is what's passing,
nah,
I
fuck
can get an
that.
EGOT.
If that's passing, then the A&R podcast is getting a Pulitzer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
When do they? Can I speak English? No, I can't. You already know they doing podcast awards at some point. I think iHeart has their own podcast awards, but that's rigged. They only give it to iHeart people.
Of
but
course.
I think like Grammys and shit are gonna start recognizing podcasts at some point. So we gonna get one of them bitches for sure.
Hey, if we get a Grammy for a podcast, no matter what our studio looking like, then we putting that bitch right here. Y'all finna see that every time you watch a video.
And at the same time, I don't give a fuck about a Grammy. I will
Literally.
drink anything out of the Grammy.
Literally.
I don't care.
I pull a Kanye damn near.
Yeah.